Hey everyone, it's Danny. I wanted to talk a little bit about identity and where I identify in my trans identity, because I think it's a little bit different than what most people see as the norm, which is one of the reasons why it was so difficult, and is so difficult for me to come out in this process, because it's not black and white, just like everything else in this world. So I identify as trans, female to male, F to M. And what that means for me is I identify as feminine towards masculine. I haven't spent my whole life wishing that I were a guy, wishing that I was seen in this world as a man. But I definitely have spent many parts of my life wishing that I had a more masculine looking body rather than a feminine looking body, and that I would like the world to see me as more masculine than feminine. So that's where I am right now in my trans identity, and I definitely identify more genderqueer. And for people who think outside of the box, and for people who think about gender in that way, that's how I prefer to identify, is genderqueer, someone who's feminine towards masculine. But for those who don't, for those who see gender as male or female, I want to appear to them as more masculine, as male versus female, just because that's where I'm most comfortable in my body and in this place. So it's really exciting. I really love it, and it was really hard to figure out at first, because it's like I feel really connected to this trans identity, and at the same time I didn't feel connected to identifying as a man. And so it took some time to get used to figure out how I could encompass my trans identity without wanting to be a man. And so that's where I am in identity. And I started seeing a gender therapist versus not, which has been really helpful in figuring all of this out. Along with that, I'm also ideally about 3 months away from starting testosterone, which is also really exciting. I've been trying not to focus too much on that, because once I start testosterone, this is the last time that I'll ever be in this place in my gender where I'll ever be identifying as feminine towards masculine and being seen as feminine versus masculine. And so I'm really trying to hold that, and to not rush being in this place, because it does feel a bit more uncomfortable at times than I think it would if the world saw me as masculine versus feminine. So I'm really trying to hold that and to be part of that before I don't have it anymore. Yeah, so that's this update, and I will try to be better about making updates. Alright, bye everyone.